Súbele, Fede, súbele. All right. That's right. Everybody loves Raymond. Everybody loves Judge Raymond Garcia. Judge Ramon Garcia from Hidalgo County joining us on 710 KURV. Good morning, Judge. How you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
All right, let's talk about the referendum for a hospital district. I understand the commissioners this week decided to go ahead and put it on the November ballot. So for working people out there, paying their taxes, what does that mean?
Let me point out that we had there was no choice. The statute that was passed the last session made it mandatory for us to call for an election on the hospital district so long as we got a petition signed by 50 qualified voters. We had a petition presented to us with 104 qualified voters. So there was no discretion. We had to vote for it.
And get it on the most or the closest election that was coming up type of thing?
Correct. Okay. That would be this November.
All right. So let's go to square one here. Let's define a hospital district. What is it? Why do we need it?
All right. It's got three purposes. Number one, our commitment as a county community that was made by the county, the city of McAllen, the city of Farr, the city of Mission, the city of Edinburgh. In order to attract the medical school, the five of us committed to $5 million a year for a period of 10 years, a total of $50 million to help pay for the expenses involved in creating the medical school. The counties agreed to pay $1 million, McAllen $2 million, Edinburgh $1 million, Farr $500, Mission $500.
Okay.
That obligation is, we have to do that every year. We just got through paying those amounts, and if the hospital district is created, their purpose is when they collect those revenues, they will pay for that $50 million.
So it's $50 million annually.
Is that right now the county is obligated to provide indigent health care, and we have at times have as much as 8% of our budget invested in indigent health care, or we had to pay out in order to provide health care for the indigent in our community.
Yeah,
that function will no longer be the county's. It will now belong to the hospital district.
Okay. How much of an expense is that? Do you know, sir?
About $8 million towards that effort.
Okay, so is it an $8 million expense yearly for the indigents here in our county? Is it around that ballpark?
Right now we have brought it down to 8. It used to be about 12.5, and
okay.
By statute could have been as high as 13.5. But we worked out an agreement under the 1115 waiver issue with the hospitals that we only pay 8.
Okay, the hospital district, this new taxing entity for only Hidalgo County, right? It would only be for property owners in Hidalgo County, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It will be a new taxing body if allowed to be created by the residents. 50% plus one still need to vote for it.
And we don't know what the rate would be, do we?
Yes.
Okay.
The rate will be 8 cents per $100 valuation, and it'll be stated in the proposition. Okay,
so it would be, but $8, 8 cents for every $100. So it'd be roughly $80 per $100,000 home, type of thing.
Yes, approximately. Yes.
Okay, and that would bring in how much revenue yearly, sir? Do you know?
That would bring in about $20 million.
$20 million, which would help pay for our portion or your and McAllen and Farr and Missions and Edinburgh's obligation to the medical school as far as the annual budget, plus indigent care. Plus be able to apply for any kind of grants that may be out there, or monies that the federal government or state government may make available to hospital districts that they don't make available to counties. Joining us on 710 KURV, Hidalgo County Judge Ramon Garcia.
Yeah, Judge, and Tim Sullivan here. So this saves the county some money, as you talk about regarding indigent care. $8 million, I think you mentioned. Any
Correct.
Idea how you would like to use those savings? How could the county use that additional money?
That'll be up to the commissioners. They've got several options. Right now and every year, we have been working on trying to meet our obligations with the monies that have been coming in. We haven't had much growth in the last since 2008 to the present. We haven't had much growth. Our collections have been fairly steady at about 170. But our expenses have been about 177 or 176. This year it may be 180 plus million, and we may use some of those dollars for that. We have the option of going back and cutting back on our taxes, and instead of 59 cents, bring it down to let's say 8 million.
Do the math. Carry the one.
He's taking the TI calculator out and doing the math really quick. Yeah.
Hey, you just say cutting taxes. That's
out of the budget, out of the taxes.
Yeah.
So we have that option to cut it back, but that's something that the commissioners' court will be deciding if and when and if the hospital district is in fact created.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big if, but the community still has to vote for this creation.
How necessary would you say this hospital district is, considering the newly merged university brings in some never-before-seen monies, including PUP funds?
Very much so. I mean, that's what we're doing. The economic development that comes with this new med schools and this new university. I mean, since January 1 to the present, we have had an influx of $348 million towards new construction and towards the operation of the university and the setting up of the med school from the state. That's a tremendous amount of money, and that's only the beginning. I mean, the state has obligated itself to do this, and we're very fortunate that they have, and hopefully the valley will be a different area come 15, 20 years from now.
And if for whatever reason voters said no, because I know, City of McAllen, they had some bond issues, and of course STC some years back, and there's always seems to be bond issues and tax increases all over the place. If for whatever reason they say no, the county, the City of McAllen, Far Mission, Edinburgh, they will all still be on tap to pay their portion of what they promised. That's
correct.
Right? Okay. So they would have to find that in their budget somehow.
That's right.
Cough it up. All right. Judge, we'll keep in touch. Oh, and by the way, before I let you go, how are you getting the word out? I mean, after all, this is an election. Is there some campaign coming up?
There will be an effort made by the university people, the hospital, the healthcare community, and the county. Well, we're trying to get together and strategize as to what's the best way of getting the word out to the community as to this being a taxing effort. It's always extremely difficult.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier to understand the drainage bond issue.
Wow,
than to
really?
understand a hospital district.
It's still plumbing. It's just different type of plumbing. All right, Judge, thank you much, Ramon Garcia, Judge for Hidalgo County, joining us on 710 KURV.